Hello, this is Willard Watson at the Blowing Rock Art and History Museum, and you're watching Songs of Freedom, the Music of the Civil Rights Movement and Their Stories. This program is a supplement to our current exhibit, Small and Mighty Acts, Altar for Black Lives. The altar was constructed by Boone-based civic organization Small and Mighty Acts in response to the killing of George Floyd in May 2020. To quote Small and Mighty Acts founder Kara Hagan, "It is likely that no one here today knew George Floyd personally. It is likely that no one knew Breonna Taylor, Tony McDade, or Ahmaud Arbery personally. What is more likely, though, is that you know something about their lived experiences. You're a runner. You go to bed each night with the expectation that you will sleep and wake in the morning safely in your own home. You go about your business each day, making your way through the familiar places of your home city or town with the expectation that you will do much the same tomorrow. If you're Black in America, tomorrow is a precarious concept. Tomorrow means that you live another day to occupy spaces that were never meant for you. Tomorrow means that you have the burden of carrying in your body generations of trauma born of race-based oppression. Tomorrow means that the very breath you draw into your lungs is an affront to the supremacy run rampant in our country and those who uphold it, willfully or unintentionally. Tomorrow is not something generously offered to you by the ideals enshrined in our country's founding documents. Tomorrow means that you must fight harder than you are fighting today." End quote. We encourage you to come to the museum and view the altar in person. It will be in the Alexander Community Gallery until March 27th. The altar also appears digitally on our website. A link is available in the video description. Today, we will draw inspiration from the stories and songs of the freedom fighters of the Civil Rights Movement in the 1960s. In addition to music, we will hear the stories behind the songs, their writers, and the people named in the lyrics. Lyrics are available for download on Brahms' website, and a link can be found in the video's description. Before we begin, I want to tell you about today's speaker. Melissa Ed is a musician, educator, and activist in the High Country area of North Carolina. Originally from Jacksonville, North Carolina, Melissa is a graduate of Appalachian State University and holds a Bachelor of Science in Interdisciplinary Studies, focusing on the intersections between music and sociology. A classically trained musician, Melissa actively performs on viola, piano, and voice as a solo artist, as well in the Boone-based band Mexican Hot Chocolate. She has spent her life working with all ages of children, from the early Montessori preschool classroom to residential group home settings with teens. She has a passion for art and wellness and honors the healing power of music. Thank you for watching today, and I hope you enjoy the program.
Hello. As Willard's already stated, we'll be discussing freedom songs in the context of the Civil Rights Movement in the 50s and 60s. Freedom songs are essentially empowerment songs. They are often set to hymns, traditional songs, or other familiar melodies and emphasize repetition. I don't have to enlighten anyone on the Civil Rights Movement, but in short, Black Americans were tired of the social, political, and economic disparity and formed a resistance. Protests and demonstrations emerged utilizing nonviolent methods as encouraged by Dr. Martin Luther King. Music was utilized to communicate a desire for change and strengthen the resolve between participants and their goals. There was often more singing of these songs than speaking at protests. The songs that we've prepared for you today were found in this beautiful collection, Sing for Freedom, the story of the Civil Rights Movement through its songs. As we travel into these songs together, I'd like to share a quote with you from activist and professor at the University of Massachusetts, Julius Leffler. "A song is to be sung. If it remains on the page, it is the same as a new automobile that is bought, placed in the garage, and kept there. A song is to be sung. One's musical abilities may be limited, but there are no limitations to one's spirit. A musical note is a guide, but alone it does not make a song. A song is to be sung. One's musical abilities may be good for citizenship schools, mass meetings, etc. Some of the songs are to be shouted. Others are to be sung quietly, lived with, and allowed to grow within you and with you. A song is to be sung." All right, the first song that we'd like to share with you today is called Dog, Dog. It is written by James Bovell. He was an activist with the Southern Leadership Committee. He was also an advisor to Martin Luther King Jr. In the song Dog Dog, James Hovell recounts in his youth that his father had a lot of children, and their neighbor had a lot of children, and the children weren't allowed to play together because, well, he was black and they were white, but both families had a dog, and the dogs would play together. So he wrote this song to address, if our dogs can love each other, why can't we? Dog, 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 my dog, I love your dog, and your dog, I love my dog. I'm talking about a dog, I love your dog, and your dog, I love my dog. I'm talking about a black dog, talking about a white dog, talking about a rabbit dog, talking about a coon dog, and my dog, I love your dog. Well, why can't we sit under the apple tree? My little doggy went playing one day.
Dog, dog, dick a dog, dog, dog.
Down in the meadow by a bundle of hay.
Dog, dog, dick a dog, dog, dog.
And another little doggy came along.
Dog, dog, dick a dog, dog, dog.
Said, let's get together and eat this bone.
Dog, dog, dick a dog, dog, dog.
Well, why can't we sit under the apple tree? You won't walk with me. You won't talk with me. Why don't you hold my hand? Tell me you understand now, can't you see that you and me will be so happy? Sit under the apple tree. My dog, I love your dog, and your dog, I love my dog. I'm talking about a dog, I love your dog, and your dog, I love my dog. I'm talking about a white dog, I'm talking about a black dog, I'm talking about a yellow dog, I'm talking about a brown dog, I'm talking about a brindle dog, I'm talking about a blue dog, and your dog, I love your dog. Well, why can't we sit under the apple tree? All right, and the next song that we're going to be sharing with you today is You'd Better Leave Segregation Alone, also by James Hovell. It's based on a rock and roll song, You Better Leave My Kitten Alone by Little Willie John. This song also uses imagery of dogs to emphasize the violent nature of segregationists, such as what was seen at the Woolworth lunch counter sit-ins in Greensboro, North Carolina, back in February of 1960. You'd better leave segregation alone, because they love segregation like a hound dog loves a bone. A bone. Well, I went down to the diner to get myself some eats. They threw me in the jail when I sat in those folks' seats. You better leave segregation alone, because they love segregation like a hound dog loves a bone. A bone. Well, I went down to the dime store to get myself a Coke. The waitress looked at me and she thought it was a joke. You better leave segregation alone, because they love segregation like a hound dog loves a bone. A bone. And our next song is called Oh Pritchett, Oh Kelly. It is based on the traditional tune Oh Mary, Oh Martha, Ring Them Bells. Who it's referencing here is Lori Pritchett, Albany, Georgia's chief of police in the early 60s, notably during the Albany movement in 1961 and 1962. Asa Kelly was the mayor of that area at the time. In 1961, a federal ruling was passed stating that no bus facility or bus driver could deny access to any of its facilities based on race. Local Albany students attempted to stand in a white waiting room and were threatened with arrest if they did not leave. After 2 arrests, students filed a report with the Interstate Commerce Commission for not complying with the ruling. This increased momentum in the desegregation movement, and demonstrations increased. Chief Pritchett saw what was going on and gathered the support of neighboring jails to mass jail protesters on the charge of disrupting the peace. However, to curb the possibility of high media coverage, he observed Dr. King's methods and set forth to out nonviolence then. Dr. King, who was also jailed, was left to say of Pritchett, "He used the moral means of nonviolence to maintain the immoral ends of racial injustice." Oh, Pritchett,
Oh, Kelly, oh, Pritchett, open themselves.
Oh, Pritchett,
Oh, Kelly, oh, Pritchett, open themselves.
I hear God's children crying for mercy. I hear God's children praying in jail. I hear God's children, I know they're suffering. I hear God's children praying in jail. Bail's getting higher.
Praying in jail.
Bail's getting higher.
Just praying in jail.
Bail's getting higher.
Praying in jail.
Bail's getting higher. Just praying in jail. I hear God's children crying for mercy. I hear God's children praying in jail. I hear God's children, I know they're suffering. I know God's children praying in jail. Bonds getting higher. 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 Just praying in jail. Oh, Pritchett, oh, Kelly, oh, Pritchett, open themselves. Oh, Pritchett, oh, Kelly, oh, Pritchett, open themselves. All right, the next song is Keep Your Eyes on the Prize. This is based on the traditional gospel song, Keep Your Hand on the Plow. The words were adapted to Keep Your Eyes on the Prize by activist Alice Wine in 1956. The nature of hymns and spirituals is such that the lyrics are often changed or improvised to fit the message. For Alice Wine, the sermon was civil rights. In the beginning of this arrangement, there are references to a story about Paul and Silas, found in the New Testament of the Bible in the book of Acts chapter 16, verse 16. In this story, Paul and Silas are preaching in Macedonia when they come upon an enslaved woman possessed by a demon that allows her to predict the future. Paul and Silas exorcise the demon from the woman, lifting her burden but taking away her ability of foresight. When the enslaved woman's owner finds out, he is incensed and has Paul and Silas imprisoned. That night in jail, Paul and Silas sang hymns and prayed, and their faith in God freed them from their cell. Keep Your Eyes on the Prize was sung during the worst of times, as freedom fighters were imprisoned and their bodies beaten. But it was songs like this that kept their spirits strong.
Paul and Silas, bound in jail, had no money for to go the bail. Keep your eyes on the prize and hold on, hold on. Well, Paul and Silas began to shout. The jail door opened and they walked out. Keep your eyes on the prize and hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize and hold on, hold on.
Freedom's name is mighty sweet. Soon one day we're gonna meet.
Keep your eyes on the prize and hold on, hold on.
Got my hand on the gospel plow. I wouldn't take nothing for my journey now.
Keep your eyes on the prize and hold Hold on.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Keep your eyes on the prize and hold on. Hold on. The only chain that a man can stand is the chain of hand in hand. Keep your eyes on the prize and hold on, hold on. The only thing that we did wrong stayed in the wilderness a day too long. Keep your eyes on the prize and hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize and hold on, hold on.
But the one thing we did right was the day we started to fight.
Keep your eyes on the prize and hold on, hold on.
We're gonna board that big greyhound, carrying love from town to town.
Keep your eyes on the prize and hold on, hold on, hold on,
Hold on.
hold on,
Hold on.
Keep your eyes on the prize and hold on, hold on. We're gonna ride for civil rights. We're gonna ride both black and white. Keep your eyes on the prize and hold on, hold on. We've met jail and violence through, but God's love has seen us through. Keep your eyes on the prize and hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize and hold on, hold on.
Another example of improvised lyrics on a traditional tune is our next song, Ain't Gonna Let Nobody Turn Me Around. It was introduced to the Albany movement in 1962 by visiting Reverend Ralph Abernathy during the summer of mass arrests. It was widely used, and CBS caught footage of students singing Ain't Gonna Let Chief Pritchett Turn Me Around while police officers picked them up and put them into paddy wagons. Ain't gonna let nobody, Lordy, turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let nobody, Lordy, turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land.
Ain't gonna let no nervous Nelly, Lord,
Turn me around,
turn me around,
turn me around.
Ain't gonna let no nervous Nelly, Lord,
Turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land. Ain't gonna let Chief Pritchett, Lordy, turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let Chief Pritchett, Lordy, turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land.
Ain't gonna let Mayor Kelly, Lord,
Turn me around, turn me around, turn me around.
Ain't gonna let Mayor Kelly, Lord,
Turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land. Ain't gonna let no jailhouse turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let no jailhouse turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land.
ain't gonna let no injunction, Lord,
Turn me around, turn me around, turn me around.
Ain't gonna gonna let no injunction, Lordy,
Turn me around, gonna keep on walking, keep on talking,
marching up to freedom land.
Ain't gonna let no insurrection turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let no insurrection turn me around. Gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land.
So that one, we added a lyric to that was topical. The last couplet, ain't gonna let no insurrection turn me around, was added in regards to the recent insurrection at the Capitol.
I can explain Nervous Nelly if you...
Oh yeah.
There was a term, Nervous Nelly, that was in this, and it's kind of just a term for a typical segregationist. Our last song we will be sharing with you is Which Side Are You On?, based on the Baptist hymn, Lay the Lily Low. It was written by Florence Reese, activist and union organizer for the United Mine Workers in Harlan County, Kentucky in 1931. We will also be singing lyrics by Lynn H. Chandler Jr. This song is important because it illustrates the intersections between the struggles for civil rights and economic sovereignty. Come all you
Good fine people, lift up your voices and sing. Do you stand with the Ku Klux Klan or march with Dr. King? Oh, which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on, boys? Which side are you on? Have you heard about the paddy wagon? They say that Big Red drives. And if you stand for civil rights, well, they'll take you for a ride. So, which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on, boys? Which side are you on?
Come on, you roughed up bullies, forget your knives and guns. Non-violence is the only way the battle can be won. Oh,
Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on, boys? Which side are you on?
They say the Ku Klux Klan just up and dyed their sheets. And now they sing, oh freedom, every time they meet. Oh, which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on?